Hi everyone, thanks for joining us in today's video. Today's video is all about if you're looking at going into studying PhD. So I have here one of my guest speaker and is really expert on this. So I will be calling on Ruben George he's a PhD student at the University of Dundee, and he will be sharing some of this insight with us today. So, Ruben, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mata, for having me. Just like she has rightly said, my name is Ruben George Ofoke. I'm doing a PhD in University of Dundee. I'm actually in my finals. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Ruben, can you actually explain to us what it is like, first of all, to be a PhD student here in the UK?
Thank you very much. I think I will start by saying that PhD is the highest level of academic pursuit. After a PhD, if you're going for professorship, that one is an addition or kind of an advancement to PhD.
Yeah.
So PhD is the highest level of academic, and it's somehow challenging, but it's worth doing. So it is something that will open your brain, open your thinking, and you begin to look at everything in three-dimensional form.
Wow.
It's just like when someone tells you stuff and you say, please, can you give me a proof? That is when you start bringing your PhD thinking, like you want to get a reference. You want to know how did you find it? How come this and this? So you begin to ask critical questions. So I think PhD will change your thinking as a person and also advance you in your area of your academic pursuit.
Okay. So we'll go back from the beginning. So what's the requirements, to have to be given admission to study, PhD? What's the requirements like for most universities here in the UK? Just give us an overview.
Oh, okay, thank you. I think in UK, the requirement for admission is almost same for all university.
Okay.
Though some university have some additional requirements, but I will just mention the ones I know that is a kind of the generic. Now, first of all, if you want to do a PhD, you will need a degree, a good degree, maybe first class or second class upper, or a master's degree or its equivalent. Some people believe that you cannot do a PhD without master's. It's not true.
Wow.
You can do a PhD without master's. But most times it depends on what you are working on or what you've been working on after your first degree.
Okay.
Some people might be working in a research industry after their first degree, and they've done a certain type of research and wants to go into PhD. You can still go into PhD.
Wow.
Though the norm is masters. If you have masters, you are rest assured that you're qualified to go for PhD.
Okay.
So first, like I mentioned, you either have a master or a good first degree. Then another thing you will require is that you require a proposal. When I say a proposal is a kind of a brief research or write-up that says what you want to do, the topic you want to research on, the research gap that you have found and you want to fill. That is where you have to bring in what you're adding to existing knowledge in that field. Okay. And you will also put the methods you intend to use to achieve that purpose. Either you are applying a new method, a novel method, using an existing data, maybe data someone else has used. Okay. Or you are using a data no one has used, using a method someone else has used, or you are using the both. It's just trying to add a new thing because research does not stop on anybody's table. So where you stop is where someone else continues. So you're able to bring in something new. That is what makes your PhD or your topic researchable. Okay. And another thing that you need a transcript. That transcript will detail all the courses you did in your uni or in your master's degree, showing your score and whatever. Okay. So it will give the university the insight of the subjects or the courses you did, which will help them to make a decision if you are suitable for what you are requesting for. Okay. So then you need your CV. I think I mentioned CV.
No, you don't mention
okay. Then you need your CV. The CV will tell them everything about you. the courses you studied, your educational academic records, and it will tell them about your work experience. Now, I want to talk briefly on work experience. People don't know, here in UK, your work experience matters a lot when you're looking for admission. If you want to study a particular course and in your CV, you have been doing something different, far away from what you want to study, you might have a fantastic certificate or result degree certificate. But if someone else have same degree certificate and still have experience in that field he wants to study, he will be a preferred candidate. So it's really good to tailor your CV towards what you want to study. Makes it, because they believe that the practical knowledge goes a long way to help you understand what you're working on. So when I think those are the things required for PhD.
Yeah, I think in my previous video, I talk about, tailoring your CV. That's if you're looking for a job, tailoring your CV to be in line with the particular job you're looking for. I think it applies to
exactly.
what Ruben is just saying. Tailoring your CV if you're actually looking for a PhD admission or any admission, tailoring your CV to have those experience in line with the course you're looking for. Okay, thanks very much for sharing these tips. Another thing again I wanted to ask is regarding scholarship. Can you throw more light on how maybe candidates that are maybe looking towards getting admissions can, if they actually want scholarship, how they can, sort for this scholarship and apply for them?
Okay, I would like to split this into two.
Okay.
Because I talked about requirement for PhD, but we did not talk about how to make the application.
Okay.
So how you make application for self-funding is different from how you make application for scholarship.
Okay.
And that's why I have to bring this in. First of all, let's talk about how you make application if you are self-funded.
Okay.
First of all, I always advise people that the best way you go about it is you don't just write a proposal and send across.
Okay.
Because sometimes you might write a very fantastic proposal to your own understanding, but when you get to the table of those who decide your fate, they will trash it. So it's also good you search the university you want to go to based on your area of interest. And if you're able to get a university or department that does what you want to work on, go under the department, look for lecturers who will serve as your potential supervisor. If you check their works, check what they are working on. If you find anyone who is working in line or something in line with what you want to study, or someone who has experience in your field, you can email the lecturer, asking the lecturer if he can be your potential supervisor. And you send a draft, a proposal of what you want to work on. If he is happy with what you have sent, what he will do is we reply you and say, okay, I'll be happy to work with you. Can you do this or that? He will tell you how you should tailor your proposal. Maybe make a little comment on what you've written. Then you will now write a comprehensive proposal, send it across to him. If he is fine with it and approved, he will tell you to go ahead and make application. And during the application, you quote him as your potential supervisor. So once the application gets to the uni, they will send it to that lecturer to vet it and advise. But because you have discussed with him, he knows everything you're working on. He will just say, okay, the student is fine, he can be able to complete this. Then it makes the admission easier and faster. Because when you don't have a potential supervisor and you just apply, what they do is that they start looking for somebody who will accept to supervise you, or somebody who is knowledgeable enough in that area to supervise you. And sometimes they might not get, and you will not get admission. And if they get, it might take time trying to get who is suitable for that. That is if for self-funding. Then if you are looking for scholarship, when I mean we are talking about overseas scholarship now, scholarship from the university. The best thing you can do is to go to the scholarship page of that university, look at the topic they have advertised, where they need research candidates. If you know the topic or the area they want to research, you can tailor your proposal towards that area, because they will make it clear this is where we need
want to give
candidates.
scholarship.
So you write a proposal to be in line with that. That is if that is your area, because I don't advise people to force themselves into a particular area
because of
there is
scholarship. Okay.
You might, at the end, after they spend big money on your head, and you do it halfway and you can't continue. So just look at the topic. If it's in line with what you want to do or something you can do, you put up a proposal and submit. And because there they will mention the supervisors for that particular course,
and it's really going to be competitive. It's not like
exactly.
every
so
other
you can
person,
email the supervisors and this is what I'm doing, this is what I intend to submit. They can give you advice. Then you submit. If you are selected, that is all. So they will just tell you the next thing to do. You submit everything they need, and you're done. I think that's all for.
Wow, that's really, really, the way you explained it it looks easy, but it's not actually easy. Thank you, Ruben. Okay, the next question I have is, can a PhD student come with their family, spouse, can they have dependents? And can the dependents, let's take for instance, can the dependents, if it's your spouse, can they work in the UK?
Yeah, obviously. If you got a PhD admission, master's or PhD, you are entitled to bring your dependents. And when we say dependent, we don't just mean a relative. We mean your wife or your children can come with you as dependent. So you are going to make application as the main applicant is you coming as a student. So and every other person coming with you will come as dependents. Now the work permit given to you and the one given to your dependents are not the same.
Okay.
Because you're a student, you're going to have a limited working hours. Yeah. You work for 20 hours in a week.
Yeah.
But for your spouse, he or she can work any number of hours in a week. So that is just the thing. So you are the one studying if you are in full time, because there are full-time PhD that's part-time. If you are doing part-time, you can work full-time. But what it means is that, like here in UK, you have minimum of 5 and maximum of 7 years to finish your PhD. But if you are doing full-time, you have minimum of 3 and maximum of 5. But this does not mean that this time cannot be adjusted. If you have anything, if during your PhD you have a problem, maybe you're sick or anything interrupted the program, you just apply to the school, they can extend your stay, study your program. And some people can finish before 3 years. It depends on you. Because PhD is an independent research. You are the one doing the work. Your supervisor is to guide you. He is not doing it. You can decide not to do what he tells you, but at the end, he determines if what you have submitted is enough to pass or not, and also with the external supervisor. So it's just your personal destiny. You work at your pace, and so that is it.
Well, that's really a very good insight. So another question I have is, I know this question is not like a static answer, but can you just give us an overview of the range, the price, the cost, what tuition fees is like, can you just give us an overview? I know there's no specific answer, but
Well, I would say there is no there's no unified cost of PhD for all universities. Some universities are actually cheaper, while some are costlier. But I would say averagely you should be looking at £18,000 per year. So if you are doing it
that's self-funded.
If you're doing it for 3 years, you pay that for 3 years. But the good thing about it is that you can actually pay installments. Meaning that if you're able to, depend on university. So university will ask you to pay a certain amount as a deposit. While you start your program, you pay the rest. And when you talk about deposit, some university will collect higher, some university will demand lower. It all depends on the uni. So there's no general amount that every university collects.
Right, thank you so much. The last question for today is, can you just give us one of the benefits or some of the benefits of being a PhD student, and maybe eventually when you finish as a PhD student and you've had that PhD with you, can you give us some of the benefits one can get from studying a PhD and all of that? Just summarize this with
Thank you very much, Martha. Just like I mentioned in the beginning when we started this interview, that PhD opens your brain to think different way. That is one.
Okay.
It makes you to understand things in different way, understand things better. That is one. Then, if you want to tailor your profession towards academics, PhD is the best thing you can do for yourself, because when you do a PhD, you have qualified yourself to being a lecturer. It does not mean that if you have a master, you cannot lecture. But having a PhD is an additional that trying to say that everything about academic has been completed. So if you are into PhD, the first option should be going into academics, which is either teaching or researching. You can just do the research without going to class to teach. You can be teaching without. It depends on what you want to go in. But that PhD qualifies you to get a teaching role or research role in any university in UK. And again, if you are going into industry, I would say that PhD might not be that valued, because work experience is very, very important. But in a case where you're looking for a job, and those who are competing with you or contemporaries has masters and experience, and you have PhD and experience, automatically you stand out. So they will pick you, and also they are going to consider your level and everything. So that is if you are going into industry. What I mean industry is, apart from academic sector, you are going into maybe working in industry or other part of the stuff. So that's what PhD helps you. And also it gives you this it gives this fulfillment. And when you're called out to do something, you have this confidence that I can do it. I can do it. So because you are not competing with those who are who have masters when it comes to your area of study. Because you have advanced your level further from what the normal master student know. Just like if you're doing master project, you can actually do something that is almost same with what someone has done, but in PhD you're doing something different altogether. It's just like you are bringing in a new thing to exist.
Your idea.
So for you to be able to stand alone and say this thing is like this, and it is published, it gives you that confidence anytime to speak about it or speak about something related. So it is really advisable or good to have PhD, but it's not as if you should force yourself. You look at what you want to do in future. Absolutely. What do you want to use it for? It's not all about getting the PhD. You think about the end from the beginning. So you'll be able to.
I like that word, end from beginning. Okay. Thanks so much, George, for sharing your insights regarding to PhD. I hope our viewers really enjoyed this video. If you're looking at applying for PhD courses here in the UK, I think this video is actually for you. Thank you so much for sharing your experience, insights, and sharing some of the benefits of being a PhD student and afterwards. If you've not followed this page yet, I would advise you to actually follow for more updates. Don't forget to share this video. You never can tell who needs this video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, viewers, and see you next time.
Okay, bye.